Welcome to Design Stand-Up, Episode 9, The State of UX in 2019, Part 3, by Fabricio Teixeira and Caio Braga of UX Collective. And I'm your host, Ryan Stone, reading to you every Tuesday and Thursday from the best blogs in the design industry, with their permission, of course. It's kind of like a free ongoing audiobook, always being updated with new content from your favorite designers. Whether you are a seasoned design professional or simply a design enthusiast, I am on a mission to help grow your knowledge in all things digital design. In today's article, we finish up with number 7 through 9 of What to Expect for UX in 2019 by Fabricio and Caio of UX Collective. So without further ado, let's stand up. The State of UX in 2019, Part 3 by Fabricio Teixeira and Caio Braga of UX Collective. Number 7. Thinking outside the artboard. Gone are the good old times when we could create a prototype by simply linking screenshots. Gone are the good old times when digital interfaces fit perfectly within a two-dimensional, rectangular artboard. As interactions evolve, the artboard metaphor needs to evolve as well. The artboard has been in our digital creative canvas for years. It is an extremely effective metaphor for print design that worked well for digital interfaces. It has since evolved to accommodate responsive design, prototyping, and component management, but it still has limitations. Artboards are not how people will experience your design. The user won't always have your UI in full screen. They will have several other tabs open in their browser, notifications popping up, well-being apps modifying their screen brightness and saturation, and so on. While at the beginning of the project, artboards are a great place to drop ideas and run visual explorations, using them as the only way to visualize your work can create the false illusion that people will experience your interface in a sacred and uninterrupted way. Artboards can mislead your way of thinking. Artboards represent your product interface, not its experience. More and more products are seamlessly connected to a broad ecosystem of services and platforms, making it harder to design products in isolation. Google Calendar, living on the right sidebar of Gmail, is an excellent example of how users don't expect to leave their email application to check their meetings. The tasks of each product are performed within a certain mindset and flow, rather than a rigid logic. The same way a photograph captures a moment that never existed in isolation, artboards are only able to capture a single point in time of your product experience. Artboards are the script, but not the movie. New technologies will require new metaphors. Voice, augmented reality, virtual reality, platform integrations, social channels. New technologies require us to abandon old mental models of what it's like to design a web experience. For example, think about the game UI for a moment. How do you perform so many tasks without moving to a different screen in the game? How do you navigate a complex game like Red Redemption 2 with so few interface elements? Controls only appear when they become relevant over the cinematic gameplay. Good luck trying to communicate those dynamics on static artboards. We can do a creative exercise that brings the same concept to an enterprise app. What would the user experience and interface be like if the app was just an overlay over the other tasks? Creating a new artboard is the wrong first step in designing for connected experiences. Still, that's how we start 99% of our projects. A few design tools are starting to explore new ways forward. Adobe XD recently launched a voice prototyping feature that has a lot of potential, but is still modeled around artboards. Figma uses frames instead of artboards. While similar to artboards, frames have an interesting way of connecting and embedding. Since artboards are not going away anytime soon, here are a few things we can do to avoid locking ourselves into the boundaries of static thinking. Share a story instead of a wireframe. Instead of focusing on single pages, think about how features will work around the user journey. What else are they going to be doing? Where are they coming from, and what will they do next? How does the interface adapt over time? Work and present your designs in context. Instead of presenting a mobile prototype from Keynote or Principle on your laptop, show it in a device similar to the one your audience will use. While designing, make sure to go back and forth between your design tool and the user's device as much as possible. Think about components and states rather than pages. Pages impose a certain linear thinking that is often not how the user will experience the product. Breaking down a feature into a set of possible actions and further breaking that down into interface components allow us to see where these actions make sense and how they can be incorporated into the broader ecosystem. In 2019, designers need to be focusing on journeys and mindsets more than a series of static screens that will never be how the user actually experiences their product. What if we question why we are doing what we are doing more times throughout our day? Number 8. Embracing the open kitchen. For a long time, designers have been protective about their process. Being a designer meant being part of a secret, sacred group. Building mystery around the creative process has made us seem uniquely valuable for the people who would hire us. Not anymore. It's about time we embrace a more open approach to the way we design. In the early 2000s, reviewing recently launched websites created by another designer or firm brought about a mix of admiration and magic. As soon as a new product went live, designers and developers would inspect the code to understand how they accomplished that feat. They would pause dribble animations frame by frame to study which parts were moving and how. Fast forward to 2018, and we're doing a much better job at sharing our process. Every week, hundreds of articles are published on Medium, written by designers who are unafraid of sharing their process with the world. Case studies have become more reflective of failures instead of focusing only on successes. Designers on Instagram have started to post stories that reveal a behind-the-scenes look at the creation of beautiful interfaces and animations. Corporate design blogs are sharing backstage photos of their process, primarily comprised of sticky notes on a wall, but still. Behance has recently started to live stream designers solving design challenges, big and small, to a broad audience of aspiring designers. Modern restaurants started to embrace the open kitchen model once they realized customers were not only interested in purchasing the food they had to offer, but were also craving a more holistic experience of designing, and they saw that people were willing to pay extra money for that experience. Customers value the craft much more once they see what it takes to create high-quality dishes at lightning speed. The same open kitchen model has started to permeate the design industry as well. Our employers and clients are buying way more than our technical skills. They are buying our authenticity, our transparency, our openness, our ability to collaborate with our peers, our ability to recover from failures. This transformation in the way companies buy design is making designers realize they are selling a process, not a deliverable. Increased openness about our design process has benefits for the designer, for the design community, and for society at large. Democratizing access to knowledge, tools, and methods will generally enable more designers to execute design, which means a bigger impact of our craft in everyone's lives. Participating in design and in the design community should not require any type of membership and should not be hidden under a paywall. You shouldn't have to have any kind of membership to participate in the design discussion. We must proceed with caution as we open our process to more people, as it will be tempting to get swept away by likes and claps. We can lean on two guiding questions as we embark on this new territory. 1. How do we avoid creating a culture of celebrity chefs in design? And 2. What can we learn about sharing work in an open source and collaborative way? GitHub and the development community have some good ideas. Starting in 2019, we will see designers sharing their process more often, and the gap between doing the work and sharing it with the world will shrink exponentially. Demonstrating our authenticity and sharing our experience will be worth way more than positioning ourselves as magicians that are secretly concocting sly tricks. Number 9. Making tech work. Every year there is a shiny new technology, topic, or buzzword that permeates everything that is written and published in UX. That has been the case in our recent reports: artificial intelligence in 2018, chatbots in 2017, the Internet of Things in 2016, and in the years prior, responsive design, augmented reality, and so forth. Not this year. There hasn't been a groundbreaking technology that has made designers stop in their tracks. There hasn't been a game changer of any kind, partially because tech hasn't advanced enough to create disruption, partially because we've had more important issues to attend to, partially because we're still educating ourselves about how to leverage existing technology in a way that feels relevant to people's everyday lives. If you look back at the topics we were all obsessed about over the past 3 years, not one of those technologies has been fully mastered. The Internet of Things has only seen a few reasonable use cases go mainstream. Chatbots continue to fail except when used for completing very specific tasks. AI has not started to be noticeably incorporated into products we use every day. But still, only a handful of companies are applying to mainstream products, and if you don't work for those companies, chances are strong that you are more of a spectator than an agent of change. This can be a good thing. Maybe it's a sign that we have stopped obsessing over the new. After the rush to discover the newest, greatest tech, it's time for us designers to help make tech work to its full capacity, understanding how, when, and most importantly, why we should implement a new way of doing something. This can also give us more time to understand our role in a society influenced by fake news, tech addiction, and growing economic gaps. In 2019, we should be thinking about A. How to fix technology that is not working, from user research that can help us understand genuine needs to usability improvements that will streamline the adoption process, if adoption is necessary at all, that is. B. Relevant use cases on how to incorporate existing technology in people's lives in a meaningful, calm, and sustainable way. C. Ideas on how to bring new technologies to more people at low cost without sacrificing their rights, privacy, or local economy. And D. how to ensure technology doesn't hinder the great experiences in the products we are designing every day. We are here to solve people's problems, whether we use technology or not. It's time to make things better. You just listened to the post titled The State of UX in 2019, Part 3, by Fabricio Teixeira and Caio Braga of UX Collective. If you want to learn more about Fabricio and Caio and read some of their other awesome articles on design, just press the link in the show notes or head over to UX Collective at uxdesign.cc. As always, you can access this full episode along with others at designstandup.com. Well, that's all I have for you today, guys. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, fill up those coffees, turn up those tunes, and let's design a better world.